Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Wednesday, December 17th. We got a big show for you today. It's Wednesday, so it's Ask Mikey and Mitch. Throw your questions in the chat. We'll get to them when we get to them. We got a lot to talk about. Obviously, the transfer portal is continuing to cook. Obviously, LSU cannot bring anybody in, but they can lose people in the portal, or people can put their name in the portal. And with the thought of leaving, maybe Lane decides to bring him back or works to try to keep him. But Carius Curne is the latest guy to add his name to the portal. That came out today, I believe, right, Lloyd?
Yes.
That came out today. Obviously, he was the number one recruit in Arkansas. He was a five-star offensive lineman. Got 5 starts this season. A guy that we were actually pretty high on throughout the course of the year and the future. So we'll see what happens, see where he goes. It doesn't feel like LSU is in his future plans. A lot of guys can put their name in the portal. Jawan Johnson came out earlier, said, I am in the portal, but I am not against coming back to LSU. It doesn't feel like this Carius Curne situation is the same thing. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, talk about the quarterback carousel that was about to happen in college football. A lot of quarterbacks are putting their name in the portal, see which ones that we feel like are the best fits here in Baton Rouge. Frank Wilson, I guess almost official. I mean, it's come out and I guess said it. It's official. I guess he's still coaching.
Coach the bowl game.
I guess there's some things that could happen, but it's not going to happen. It's 99%. I don't want to say 100% because, anything could. But he's going Ole Miss.
Yeah, there you go.
He's going Ole Miss. LSU and Ole Miss are just flip-flopping a lot of personnel. Our GM goes there, their GM comes here. Our running backs coach goes there, their running backs coach is coming here. I guess presumably their running back coach is coming here. Presumably their running back is coming here. I would imagine that our running back is going to go there. A lot of flip-flop. That makes the game next year a lot even more interesting than it already was going to be.
WWE.
If College Game Day is not there.
Oh, they could both be 0-2.
That College Game Day's got to be there.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff happening. We are currently watching the Staff DNA
Cure Bowl.
Cure Bowl. I have no idea what that is, but those are the names of the bowl games now. So that's what we have to deal with.
Enjoy them while you got them.
You have the college football playoff this weekend. Those bowl games are still the same after this week. It's home games right now, but then you get to the big bowl games that are very bunch of name recognition. So talk a little bit about that. But again, Ask Mikey and Mitch Wednesday. Throw your questions in the chat. We're joined by our co-host. You are a co-host.
I guess so. I'll take that. Yeah, producer,
co-host, the infamous Lloyd Courtney. I was in your hometown today.
Do you see the sign? It says home of.
Home of, not you.
Nope, it does not. Nope.
I did see home of Jeff Landry on the way back.
Yep,
I did pass that.
I don't have that kind of pool yet.
Yeah, it was nice. I was in and out.
Circle.
It's usually kind of what you do, right? You
go
to Alec, you come in.
It's a flyby city.
Drive by.
Yeah, it's I will say, chain capital of America. Most competitive chain restaurants in the game. You got the Chili's is good, the Outback is good, the Longhorn Steakhouse is good.
You got them all.
Yeah, and they all know. Speaking of the transfer portal, they all go from one to the other.
Yeah.
Fuck up at one, go to the next one.
That's it. It's a revolving door.
That's right. You do that, you go to trade school.
Yeah.
And you get somebody.
But it was nice. Weather was bad. We got back. It was all good. Also joined by our 2-time national champion, once in football, once in baseball, first-round draft pick from Chicago White Sox, media pundit for SEC Network, our co-host, Jay Mitch.
Much better resume.
Much better resume.
Alexandria.
A little bit more interesting. I was not in your hometown today. Had I gone to Alec and then New Iberia, it would have been a long day.
Yeah.
Been a long day.
That'd be a lot, yeah. That's a big trip for one day.
I did not do that. If I did that, I better be landing some clients.
You're recruiting.
Yeah. But lots to talk about, obviously. A lot of different directions I want to go. But let's start with the Frank Wilson news. That came out yesterday. I think it was something that we had all anticipated to happen. There's a lot of reasons why we felt like he was probably going to go to Ole Miss. One, the familiarity that he has with Pete Golding. They coached together at UTSA. He hired Pete as a defensive coordinator over there. I believe Frank coached at Ole Miss prior, right?
Yes.
So he's been at Ole Miss before, and it felt like the whole time Lane, if his running backs coach Kevin Smith wanted to come with him, Lane wanted him to be there. If Kevin decided he wants to stay at Ole Miss, it felt like maybe that was going to open a spot up for Frank. But I think everybody really thought that Kevin Smith was going to come, followed by Kawan Lacey was going to follow both of them here to LSU. So we all just anticipated it finally came out. We didn't know if it was going to come out before or after the bowl game. Came out, said that Frank Wilson will be the running backs coach at Ole Miss. Obviously a good addition for Ole Miss as far as the recruiting side goes. Obviously Frank has a lot of success in his history of bringing running backs and having good running backs here at LSU. But what are our thoughts on that, Jared?
I guess it's not surprising. I don't know that I could sit here and say that we knew for sure he was going to go to Ole Miss. Obviously, he's got the history there. There would possibly be a vacancy there. There's history with Pete Golding as well. But, as more time went on and you saw what was going on at LSU and there wasn't a for sure thing happening or hadn't been announced or none of that has come out, you started to wonder, all right, well, how's this thing going to happen? And, obviously this is kind of what's going on. Look, Frank's done an incredible job in his coaching history in Louisiana, not only on the field, but also with the guys he's brought in. So he's going to be nothing but an upgrade and nothing but good things coming to Ole Miss at that spot. So it's a tough loss. You would hope that LSU is able to gain if they're able to bring in Kevin Smith as well. And you'll see where it goes from here. Look, Lane was going to put his thing together. Kevin Smith has obviously done a really good job and so far in his career as well. So you got to imagine that he's going to come here and kind of continue the success he's had there as well.
Yeah, and
if that ends up happening.
And I want to say something too, because look, it's very easy, and a lot of times fans do this all the time, right? Oh, this guy's with us, we love him. He's not with us, we hate him, right? Frank didn't leave on his own accord, right? Frank probably was not going to have the role that he wanted to have here, so he decided to take a job that was better suited for what he wanted. And so let's not forget everything that Frank did in his career here at Baton Rouge. He loved LSU. He's been at LSU for a long time. He recruited his ass off. He brought in some big-time recruits, and he was a good representative for LSU. So the fact that he's not at LSU anymore, let's not just go back and pile on and say, oh, since he was here, the running backs weren't good or this or that.
Such a bizarre coping mechanism.
I don't understand that. Let's wish him good.
Wish him well.
Yeah, wish him well moving forward. And, he's come back here 3 times. You know what I mean? He's had 3 different stints here. Or 2 different stints here. And who's to say that, down the line he doesn't want to come back here and do it again? Let's not
burn the bridge.
Just because he's not here doesn't mean he didn't do anything. He wasn't good, right?
He was never on a national championship staff.
Listen, I get it. The running backs the last few years have not been what we're accustomed to seeing in Baton Rouge. But it doesn't mean it falls all on Frank. I think it falls on a lot of different people. I don't think the scheme works for it. And I don't think, there's a lot of different reasons why it didn't work out. But to go out and say, oh, it's good that we're going to be better off with look, we may or may not be better off without him. That's not even the point. It's just this guy did everything he could for LSU, loved LSU, loves Louisiana, was a great asset for us. And now that he's gone because it's a better opportunity for him because he wasn't going to get the same one here, let's not jump to the pettiness of jumping on top of this, saying he wasn't good or oh, good, I'm glad he's gone. That's just I don't subscribe to that.
No, he deserves more respect than that for what he did for LSU.
Yeah, the Frank slander is crazy to me because you forget easily what he's done, which is wild. I'm kind of surprised that people would kind of go that route. Hell, I remember even when, if I remember the timeline of this thing correctly, I'm pretty sure Frank was at Ole Miss when I was coming out of high school, and he even remembers recruiting me and talking to me then. I ran into Frank. I got a chance to talk to Frank about a year ago, and he brought up my name, talked about the things that I was doing then, and I'm like, damn, all these people that this man has done. So he not only remembers, but he is great at building relationships, and that's shown through the work that he's done at LSU. Respect it, man. Yeah. Just respect it.
No doubt. It's just there's no reason he didn't leave because he wanted to leave.
No, he wants to stay.
He left because the opportunity that he wanted was not here anymore for him. Right? Now, if Kevin Smith had decided that he wasn't going to come, he'd probably be here.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think he's leaving LSU because he feels spurned by LSU.
Correct.
He's only leaving because LSU's saying, and Lane Kiffin is saying,
correct.
I want to do it with my guy. I've had the same running backs coach for 9 years. You have to respect that relationship
Kevin
as well.
Smith's been on for 9 years?
Yep.
Wow.
Since
and
FIU.
you have to respect that.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's not like I'm just bringing in some guy.
Right.
It's like, this is my guy.
Right.
And you have to respect the relationship that I've fostered with him. And if you get, it's not just for Kewan Lacey. It's because they've coached together and he likes him.
Correct.
So
and look, he's obviously a good running back coach.
Given him full autonomy to do this.
They've had successful running backs. And look, yeah, is it going to be a loss? Is it going to be an adjustment not having Frank? Of course. Right? LSU has recruited without Frank. They're going to have to recruit without Frank again. Frank is a great recruiter. That is what he does. And they're going to have to go and they're going to have to make the adjustments there and they're going to have to compensate for that loss, which I believe that they're going to be able to do. You have to trust that that's going to happen and see it. But, yeah, it's, they're going to go in there. Frank's going to definitely pop in New Orleans and probably steal a couple recruits from New Orleans. That's just going to happen.
Well, they have the staff of Austin Thomas, Frank Wilson, and Pete Golding all have Louisiana ties.
Correct.
And it feels like it's a shift in what LSU was doing from a recruiting standpoint to a transfer portal standpoint, right? They're shifting their approach of how they're going to get players.
Yeah, but you still have a couple guys in the recruiting world that have Louisiana ties on LSU, like the defensive staff with Baker and Corey Raymond. They have Louisiana ties here. Like they have been able to recruit a lot of guys from Louisiana since they've been here. So you're going to have to go and make the adjustments. I do believe that they're going to obviously work in the portal, but I do think that there's going to be a nice balance, and you're just going to have to find your sauce when it comes to the recruiting in that area, and I believe they're going to get that.
I'll say this too, we got to understand, man, like this recruiting thing in 2025 is a lot different than it was in 2015 and a lot different than it was in 2005. Now, what I mean by that is, yes, it is awesome that people know Frank personally. That helps a ton. So I'm not going to sit here and try to downplay that at all. But at the end of the day, I don't think there's a single kid in Louisiana that if LSU came knocking isn't going to at least answer and listen. I don't think there's a single kid in Louisiana that when those two things happen and the price is right and the opportunity's right, because that's what today is, that they aren't going to consider it. So let's not sit here and say that that's the relationship is the only thing that's getting it across the finish line. Unless these guys that are in the building now have burned bridges with some of these Louisiana kids, the opportunity is still going to be there to land these guys. Let's just tell the truth about it. And maybe that's how Lane is looking at this thing. Like, yes, Frank is great at the recruiting part of it. Frank has a stranglehold on it. But you know what has a bigger stranglehold on the state of Louisiana? LSU. It just does. Right? And if you're doing the program right while you're inside the program, you're still going to be able to recruit Louisiana. This just is what it is.
Correct. I'm looking at Frank's time at LSU. So 2010 to 2015 was his first stint. And then he was gone from 16 until 22.
Yep.
And look, obviously when he was here, you had some players. But even when he left, you brought in some good players. Without him, right? And so, agree with you, Jared. Like LSU is not going to recruit itself in a sense, but you're gonna. It's the state university.
Does Frank make it easier? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it impossible? No.
No. Correct. Right. Frank was a relationship guy with the coaches there, and it was easier for them to get in there. If you're able to create a relationship with coaches in Louisiana, and they're able to let you in the door, then obviously you're going to have an opportunity to go out there, especially with NIL and all that kind of stuff. So, it's obviously. He's been a big name, a name that we've talked a lot about since he got back, and I wish him the best.
And Ole Miss can have their, of course this has become a pity party. Like it's become a spite fest. And so being able to get, you got Lane Kiffin, we got this. You got Billy Glasscock, we got Austin Thomas. You got Kevin Smith, we got Frank Wilson. It's like a weird trade that's happening between this, and it's almost like Ole Miss is doing this out of spite, but it's like, oh well, we'll just go get your guy. It's like, okay, we got your number one guy. You could have
both the guys they got from LSU have ties to Ole Miss. They both been at Ole Miss before, so it just makes a lot of sense. Talk a little bit about this Carius Curne thing, Lloyd. Do you know anything about this? Obviously, he hits the portal today. He was a big time freshman recruit from Arkansas. Was it Brad Davis that brought him in?
Yes.
And so Brad Davis obviously no longer here. Feels like he's not a guy that we could probably win back. That's kind of the feeling.
Plenty of opportunity to LSU on the offensive line.
Correct.
So it's not a
opportunity thing because you started 5 games as a freshman.
Yeah, that room is blank at this point. You could probably pencil in one name, and that's if he chooses to come back, and that would have been Braylon Moore. If he doesn't go to the draft, I'd imagine he would come back.
I bet you could probably put Tyree Adams in there too.
If he doesn't go to the portal.
If he doesn't go in the portal.
But here's the question: could it be a price point thing?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I think. Maybe. Maybe it's I'm trying to go get more money type of thing, but I don't even know if they've even had. I'm sure they've had conversations on money, but yeah, it could be. Hey, I'm getting this. I don't think I'm worth more than that. Let me go see how much I can go get.
And what I mean by that is okay, if there is opportunity at LSU, which we all believe there is, maybe he feels there's opportunity elsewhere because let's be honest, the tampering thing's real, right? People are going to be caught. You lose a head coach, of course someone's picking up the call and say, hey, you happy there? We can match. We might be better. We might give you more. We might give you more opportunity. So, is there also that situation where he's sitting there saying, okay, well, let me just put it in there. And I'm not saying that I agree with any of this. I'm just saying, I just understand that these type of things are happening. People do go into the portal for this reason. Like it, love it, hate it, it is what it is. It's the same reason why the signing, I guess the early signing period on that night of it, you don't get the number 1 recruit, Lamar Brown, to sign that night, and why he delays a little bit, because they want to know, hey, who are you bringing in? Let's have this conversation before I sit here and give you this. So is it a sense of, wait, I've never signed anything to play for Lane Kiffin. He's here. Okay, I don't know how he thinks of me. Maybe they didn't. Maybe there wasn't a great relationship there before. So maybe he's like, you know what? I'm here. Right. But let me just put my name in the portal. Let's see if they actually value me, if they want to either match that, come close to it, give me the same opportunity. What's that conversation? What's that situation going to be like? We don't know those things when a new coach and the situation changes at the school from what it used to be.
Yeah, correct. And that could be it. It could be him trying to leverage himself to get more money, and maybe that he can get convinced to come back.
I think it was more of a Brad Davis thing.
What makes you think? Just because?
Well, he was essentially committed to Arkansas.
Right.
And, Brad Davis was in Arkansas, then he comes to LSU, he comes with him to LSU. And you'll probably see the same thing with Solomon Thomas. Don't be surprised if he hits the portal because Alex Atkins was his guy. He was committed to Florida State when Alex Atkins was there. Right. Alex Atkins comes to LSU. He flips on signing day to LSU. He's like, I really wanted to be at Florida State, but the only relationship I have was Alex Atkins. Now I'm just going to follow him.
Right.
And so you could see a pretty big shakeup on LSU's offensive line because you're making changes. But at some point you do have to look at the room and go, look, I think they're all talented, but you did need to make a change, clearly.
Well, you're going to have to bring guys in anyway.
Right, and so this is just this is part of having turnover on the staff as well as having now the roster can turn over as well. Everybody's on a year-to-year deal.
Yeah, and they brought a couple guys in, offensive line recruits. I don't know, obviously you don't want to start an offensive line full of freshmen, but you like to have hopefully some of these freshmen are really good and they can play. You're still going to have some guys on the roster that were there. I think because over the last couple of years, they brought in a lot of offensive line recruits.
Yeah, you were trying to rebuild. That's what you were trying to do.
Yeah, and it just didn't work out for one reason or another. Whether that's even more reason why I believe they did not miss on every single one of those guys. There's no way. It's just, to me, it was more of a development thing than anything. So yeah, that could be the case, but The position that's going in the portal right. What, you're gonna say something?
Oh yeah, I just have a quick question, but I think it might be a long answer from both. How many players do you think LSU ends up taking out of the portal? Obviously, you signed 15 guys in your recruiting class.
Yeah,
in the early signing period.
The SEC has gone up to 105 scholarship players.
Right.
So you really have an unlimited roster,
and you have to replace a lot.
Look, obviously, Lane wanted that reassurance that allocation of money would be there for the long term, but I also think it was a big demand on his side to, hey, if we're going to turn this thing over and we're going to keep this ship running, however you want to look at it, I want to be able to do that instantly or as quick as I can. So how much can I get going now too? So that's probably a thing. I would imagine, like I've talked about it before, I do think the way he goes about stuff and the big reason why he came here is because of what you can build. So in years to come, as this thing keeps going, and who knows if it's going to get curtailed or how it's going to go in the future, but in years to come, when you have an establishment and something that's concrete and something you feel like you've built, it's a lot easier to go get that 15 to 20, if you will, that are high school absolute dogs that you know are going to be there, that you know you can build off of. But there's nothing wrong with supplementing your team with 10 to 15 transfer guys a year, especially if they can be impact and or compete to be impact players.
Yeah, and I think to answer that question, I think we have to wait until it's like the window closes. Is it closed to put your name in the portal?
No, I think it's like January, something like early in January, I believe.
January 2nd is when the portal opens.
When it opens to go.
Be able to.
Okay.
But you can put your name in the portal when it opens too, right?
Right now, you can say, I have intentions to hit the portal so people know. And as you talk about like the legal tampering period.
Right.
That's why people are putting their name in the portal. They've been contacted already because you can talk to an agent. You can't talk to the player.
Correct. So to answer the question, I think it depends on how many people they lose from their team as well in the portal, right? How many guys they enter the portal that they don't get back, to be able to kind of get a number as to how many people that they're going to get. I would not be shocked. I mean, how many people did he used to bring in at Ole Miss? Let's see.
I got you. Ole Miss transfer portal class 2024. I would
26. I would not be shocked if he brought in at least 20. I think 20 is going to be at the low side, depending on how many he loses. But I think 20 is probably a good number.
Well, he signed how many? 15?
15. They're probably going to sign a few more in the next period. But he signed 15 in the early signing period.
But the roster limit is also going up as well.
Correct, and we don't know how many other guys are going to leave from LSU.
Right.
To go in the portal, and we don't know how many guys from LSU put their name in the portal, and he ends up saying, "Oh, come back," because that happens too.
Stay drunk.
If I'm looking forward on it, if the job is done right at LSU, I would imagine it's a big number to start, and as years go, it slowly starts to dwindle down in terms of how many you're trying to go get out of the portal. That's what I would think.
Here's a question I want to pose to y'all. As the college game gets closer and closer to the NFL game, as far as free agency, paying players, GMs, all this kind of stuff. Right? We've already talked about how they need to adopt somewhat of the NFL schedule where they need to push things back somehow.
Or move things forward. One of the two.
Yeah, or move things forward. But
you
can't get what happened in December again, right? Or the end of the season, early December, right? They already eliminated a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've talked about...
And added a conference game, so that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Schedule got harder, but we're taking away some time off.
Right, yeah. So you play a harder schedule, but you don't get 2 weeks off. Yeah. Which I'm okay with not having 2 bye weeks, but
player safety, right?
Yeah. But the closer it gets to the NFL model, they just announced NCAA, which NCAA makes rules that don't make any sense, but they said, okay, now you can increase the roster size to 105 scholarship players. NFL has 53 active roster players. Plus, I don't know how big their practice squad is, but whatever you have on the practice squad. Do we see college football shortening their roster? Or do we think that it's going to continue to stay this big?
I mean, they kind of did that already. Didn't they cut out the amount of walk-ons you could have?
Well, yeah, but they extended to 105 scholarship players. So there's more scholarship players on the roster than before. It used to be only 85. So, so technically you can have a larger roster. But, with money and GMs and all these types of things, do we see that? Do we see the roster shortening? I'm not saying go to 53 because, you just can't do that. But 70?
I think just
no, go ahead, Lloyd.
No, I was just going to say because, the only reason that would become a a factor is that everybody's getting paid, right?
Right, well, that's what I'm saying.
In the NFL, obviously, you have to get paid.
Right.
You're not going to do it for free. In
Well,
college, there's still some
guys aren't getting paid. You're right.
Yeah, there's some modicum of
right.
kids that aren't really
Yeah.
getting everything. That it's not everybody signing a 6-figure deal. It's like I want to go to LSU.
So
and walk
that
on.
makes the next question, right? The way we keep doing this, and if we start saying, all right, you have, this is the market for quarterbacks, and they start trying to figure out a way to have actual contracts where, like, hey, you're here for 3 years, or this is, if you're there for one, this is your buyout, blah blah blah. Do they start saying, okay, scholarship comes with a contract and a league minimum?
Yeah.
Here's your minimum. You get $100,000 to come play college football as the minimum league minimum.
Like that's mandated across like the SEC.
Mandated. Everybody gets paid. If you're on scholarship, you get paid $100,000. That's the contract you sign. Right now, if you're higher, you can negotiate a higher contract, but
this is the base salary.
League minimum is $100,000. If you do that, they would definitely decrease the rosters.
Well, and they would have to sign you'd have to form like a union.
Correct. Which I feel like that's coming.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it's getting decreased. I think it got up for a reason, right? Like they cut out all the scholarship all the walk-ons, and then very soon after that, they say, hey, we're going from 85 to 105. I think it's because they felt like, for whatever that reason may be, we don't have the bodies that we used to have. So how can we get the bodies that we used to have? Let's extend the scholarship amount. So I personally I'm not exactly sure that's going to happen, because if they're on scholarship, a lot of these guys are still getting paid. They're part of the revenue share. So I think that's kind of already been, well, hey, wait a minute. That's how we're going to figure this thing out. Like, I don't think it's going that way.
Well, not everybody on the team gets paid, right? Like, just because you're on the revenue share doesn't mean the player. I mean, I see what you mean. Like, revenue share of, like, being in the video game, you get a little piece of that.
No, I mean, like, if you're a scholarship player, I'm pretty sure you're part of the revenue share.
Yeah, that comes from.
So if we extended scholarships, we're not cutting dollars out at that point. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, they took away all these walk-ons, which a lot of teams had a lot, right? Like, we've all seen it, dude. You're walking around with like 130 guys or whatever it was.
Number 138 on the bag tag.
Right. So you've taken that out, and then a couple years later, maybe even 1 year later, you go back and say, we're going to extend the rosters from 85 to 105 because we want more scholarship players.
Right.
So it doesn't sound to me like that's a move to say, oh, this isn't right. Let's go ahead and cut that back down because we're paying too much.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't know if they ever came up with a salary cap, but I guess with the revenue sharing, so every player gets paid.
I would imagine if you're.
How does that revenue share work? What revenue share for what?
It's revenue share from the TV deal. So now.
Right, but the revenue share gets allocated to the teams so they can allocate to whoever they want.
Right.
So not every player is getting paid.
No, but there's not. Yeah, it's not a guaranteed payment.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
You have a pool of what you can pay players.
Yeah,
from.
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, but not every player on the roster is getting money.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was just confused. I didn't know if every player was allocated money based off of they have to get money.
Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure there is schools around the country that are using it that way.
I'm sure
there is no uniform way to use it, but I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure there is schools around the country that are using it that exact way.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I just didn't know.
But that's why this thing's such a problem, because there is no uniformity.
Right.
There is no how does this thing go.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not mandated. I'm no doubt that players are getting paid. If you're on the roster, you're getting some money. But it's not mandated that they all have to get money, right? The school can allocate it any which way that they want it.
Kenzel Kelly doesn't have to get paid.
Right. Well, he's getting paid. Daddy got paid a lot of money, so I'm sure he's going to get some. His inheritance just increased.
Yes.
So he's pretty happy. Yeah. I mean, look, I don't think they're going to decrease it. But if they ever came in and they created a college football commission, and they came out and they started having parameters and they started making some uniformity around college football and saying this is how it's structured and this is what it's supposed to be, and there's a strict, I mean, obviously you have you don't really have a salary cap, but you have a salary cap, or you say, hey, everybody's going to get paid, this is what you get when you sign a contract. I don't know, but it's just a thought.
Yeah, I mean, you're watching college football change right in front of your eyes, and that's what I say. That's what makes me think about the way that this is going and where it was previous. And when Brian Kelly came to LSU, he thought, oh, they're going to be able to recruit it and I can coach it. This is the way that's supposed to work. I can finally get the players that I need. There's no real academic restrictions like I had at Notre Dame. It's a little bit easier to get to school. And it turned on its ear, and now Notre Dame is the place where it would have been easiest.
Which pretty wild to hear you're talking about the academic requirements. Pretty wild to see that come out.
2026
as to
it stopped him from taking the job.
Everybody talked about what was it. There's a bunch of different reasons, but that definitely did not help.
No.
And if you don't know, Lloyd, you want to explain it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could read the article, which it came from, but essentially it was Blake Baker had talks with Tulane. He wanted to take – it felt like the tenor of that article made it seem as if he wanted to be the head coach at Tulane. He wanted to take the job. They start talking about NIL and recruiting and transfer portal, and it became – you still have to have certain academic restrictions at Tulane that we still hold our players to. So if they don't meet this criterion –
That's why Tulane didn't offer me a football scholarship, because I got caught cheating.
That one time? That thing's really bitten you in the ass.
They came to watch me in the spring game, and I couldn't play in the spring game because I had in-school suspension. I got caught cheating on a vocabulary test in high school.
Worth it?
I mean.
What do you think you would have gotten if you didn't cheat?
Oh, dude, these words are not in my vocabulary. No.
Clearly.
That's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Should have used it. I mean,
everyone else, Nebraska was there. Everyone else was like, "Oh, I get it, no problem."
Tulane
did not like that.
Yeah, not an academic man.
Not like that.
But yeah, so essentially, the Mikie Mahtooks of the world wouldn't be able to get into school, and so Blake Baker was like, "I would like to have players like that," and it made him pretty much turn around and go back to LSU because then he saw the big picture of it. Right? He saw the Kirby Smart path. He saw the Dan Lanning path of. Why make it harder on myself whenever I can be at LSU with Lane Kiffin and run the defense and then wait, essentially, and not have to take a job that has restrictions on the transfer portal, NIL, and how we're recruiting.
Right.
Which is that's you're setting yourself up to fail if you do take that job.
Yep.
And that's why they had to promote from within.
Yeah, and Tulane fans are not happy with that.
No, I mean, it's a fucking disaster.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think about it. If you're Blake Baker and you do have your pick of the litter at LSU, not only because of what's required, but also because of what the school is and the cachet of the school. And then now you're telling me that not only do I have to go to a lower level school, I got to, follow up with the last two coaches have done, which is only up the program and make it better. And I can only do that and I can only do that with a certain pool of players, because if they don't meet these certain criteria that are not the same as a school like LSU, just in terms of getting in, well, I can't go recruit.
Right.
Man, I'm not saying I can't do it, but I got a pretty good gig right here as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt. I thought that was pretty interesting. I didn't mean to hijack
it's
earlier,
certainly a talking point.
Yeah,
because that's why he's back at LSU. What was if you look at the list of of when Lane Kiffin got here, what you wanted him to do versus what he did, right? Because we're pretty much, I would say, scorned lovers at this point because of what Brian Kelly did. Like, don't do it like that. There's certain people in places of power at LSU you want to keep there because this is how it works, right? This is what we've seen be successful. It was Frank Wilson. It was Austin Thomas. It was Corey Raymond, right? And then it was Blake Baker. Like, if you can retain him, that would be awesome, right? If you don't have Tulane make up these statutes of what you can and can't do and who you can and can't recruit, you don't have Frank Wilson. You don't have Austin Thomas. You don't have Blake Baker.
Yeah.
You'd be 0 for 3 on the things that people kind of, this makes the job easier. You'd have kept Corey Raymond, and who knows if Corey Raymond stays without Blake Baker.
Right.
And so that was a massive win for him just in the public perception, because he's getting a lot of leash, and as he should, because he wouldn't take the job. Same thing with Brian Kelly. If I can't do it my way, I don't want to do it.
Right.
And you're paying me $91 million to come make decisions and make hires, and I want to work with people I want to work with. Cool. But we just saw how that played out. Then you had to turn around and reverse course, go get Frank Wilson, go get Blake Baker, go get Corey Raymond. And it's like, see, now look, you got DJ Pickett, Harlem Berry. Like, this is a little bit easier, isn't it? And now you don't have those people, and Lane Kiffin's bringing in his people. But he has a proven track record of what he's done at Ole Miss with Billy Glasscock and that staff. Correct. And what they've done at running back and his offense. And it's like, okay. That's a little bit different than what Brian Kelly did when he brought in. Didn't feel like it was much of a plan.
And also,
Polian didn't do himself any favors.
I'm also not giving Brian. I'm not giving Brian Kelly any excuses. But also, when Brian Kelly came in, it was the beginning of this whole thing.
Right.
So there was a lot of
And that landscape is sped up too.
Correct.
It is.
Correct. There was a lot of like, all right, let's figure it out. And then the next year there was something different. Okay, we got to figure it out. Now, look, this does not give him any excuses because he made some mistakes in hiring and bringing guys over and being stubborn on certain things, right? But as far as like the transfer portal and the NIL and all of that landscape,
what
like
college football looked like when he took the job versus the next
correct.
year was
correct.
Oh shit.
And then what it looks like now, right?
Yeah.
Every year has gotten different. So
and guess who's been on the forefront of it?
correct, and that's my point, right? Like you're getting a coach that's making his decisions, but he's doing it because and he's been right in the middle of NIL, understands how it works, understands what's successful in it, and understands what it takes, and so. That's a little bit different, you know. So that's why I think you're talking about scoring lovers. I think everybody just needs to. It's not the same.
No,
right? It's not the same, right? Every head coach is going to bring in some guys that they want. Lane has retained more than Brian Kelly retained when Brian Kelly came over here, and so
I mean it should have been a pretty big red flag that you couldn't get your strength coach to come with you. Like,
yeah,
that should be like you don't want to be the strength coach at LSU.
Well, and also not just you don't want to bring the fact that you didn't bring your strength coach with you, and then you did not retain Tommy Moffitt, who's been there with 3 national championships.
That's a bigger one than anything, Lloyd.
Yeah.
If we're talking, it's not like the guy was coming from I don't know, Eastern Michigan or something. He was going to be leaving Notre Dame. When we sit here and say that about the last 3 coaches that at LSU, well, they couldn't bring Tommy Moffitt with them when they left. Obviously, Ed Orgeron didn't go get another coaching job, but they didn't bring Tommy Moffitt with them. So, like, I get you. I hear you, but it's not the same.
And the other thing is, like, you know, to Lloyd's point, like, obviously the only coach that left LSU that went and got another job that was worth it was Saban. And I know Saban tried very hard to bring to bring Tommy with him, and Tommy wanted to stay at LSU. And so when Brian Kelly comes here and he's bringing his entire staff – and he has to bring his strength coach, and his strength coach says, no, I'm going to stay with Marcus Freeman, then now you don't even have a strength coach you're bringing in. You have one who's been here.
That's more of my point.
Who has 3 national championships, but you didn't want to keep him because you had to clean house and bring your own guys in and do whatever you needed to do, which was the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah, I'll bring it by assistant strength coach to be the head coach, the head strength coach. It's like, well,
you
have one here.
Which Tommy was on our show and talked about all the times that guy reached out to Tommy to ask him advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a smart move.
Smart move. Just
might
as well keep the guy on staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was not. And Texas A&M's in the playoff.
Right.
With the chair.
Brank always fired.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot different situation. The landscape's a lot different. We're getting a coach that knows the landscape.
Well, I mean, you had a coach that came in that didn't want to recruit. Like, he was going to let, I guess, other people do it. Like, Brian Kelly's not a recruiter. Is that the first thing you think of?
Well, they said the same thing about Lane.
Yeah, Lane is. Well, they've got the same. But my thing is that Lane does something though. He's calling your offensive plays. Brian Kelly was the CEO.
Here's also the difference.
That didn't recruit.
Not only does Lane do something and have like a calling card, he calls the plays, whatever. But Lane has a relationship with his players. Like, you've heard players talk about Lane Kiffin, how they like him.
Every time he's been on McAfee, he's brought one on.
Right?
He's in the office right now.
Lane. Like, I love this relationship. Jackson Dart, Kawan Lacey, all
Trinidad.
You've never heard anybody say anything about Brian Kelly.
Matter of fact, you've heard a lot of the opposite.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, damn. Everybody's saying this about the head coach. That ain't good.
No. He didn't really have a relationship with me. Never really talked to him. Okay.
Not good.
Not great, Bob.
Nuh-uh.
And you don't win.
Yeah. That's not what you want. But we're not here to bash Brian Kelly. We're done with that.
Always will.
Yeah, but we're done.
Door's always open.
We're done with that era. We got the Lane train in.
My point was, like you said, it's hard. I'm not trying to make an excuse for him because I don't want to, but you're still amenable to change. You have to be. But he was the same person that went from we have to recruit the state, do all of this, like said all of the right things whenever he got the right people in the building, and then when it came pay for play, which is very apparent that what was going to happen, then he became, I don't want to spend the money on that.
Right.
And it's like, well, you can't let your morals and what you think about college athletes get in the way of your success. Like, I'm not paying him $1 million.
Lloyd, you're really that's not what was going on, Lloyd. It was rampant at that point, and you got to remember, LSU was getting coined as the school that was the NIL champ. And they were not shelling out NIL champ money. So everybody was coming like this, and they weren't signing unless they got this. So that kind of had to happen at that time. That wasn't a moral train thing. You know better than that. That wasn't what was going on at the time. At the time, think about it. At the time, the Netflix show and all that stuff was coming out as LSU was the NIL champ. You come here, you get paid. They were not at the top of the NIL earnings. They were not at the top of what, if there was actually a board that was saying, here's what's being shelled out, they were not there. And to curb that, that was the only thing you could kind of possibly do. To throw it out as like, hey, look, no. We're not just opening a bag and giving you whatever you want. It's not a blank check for everybody that comes here. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and look, it was his way of curtailing that what you just said, right? And now,
yes, that culture, yes.
And now being Brian Kelly being Brian Kelly, probably wasn't delivered in the best way, right? Like, hey, this is what we're going to do. This is why we're going to do it. But he came off as an arrogant, like, I'm not going to change way, which gives that perception. But I'm with you, Jared. Like, it was something that needed to be said. Like, hey, we're not just going to pay you to pay you. We're going to pay the guys that we need to pay, and we're going to, based off the value that we see that they are in.
It was if you'd all for LSU, the way they started it was with like a virtuistic mindset of the stars that have already made a name for themselves have earned being able to be paid.
Right.
And that was not what everybody else did.
And I think, too, at that time, but you know what else was going on? Not only were people that were not part of the program coming with their handout, but people that were either part of the program or people that were already at the top of the food chain, they were asking for even higher prices. So it was going out of control if you allowed it to the perception to keep going that way. So something had to be done in terms of being able to be like, hey, look, we're going to put the brakes on this a little bit because that's not – that money y'all think is there is not there.
Well, then, yeah, and then it turned into, every year it was, okay, we have this, but now we got rid of them and we got this. And it always was chasing. They were always chasing that. And so then it turned into, okay, well, let's just spend money on guys. And look, it worked out on the defensive side because you had a defensive coach that was able to develop it.
Yeah.
Offensively, it did not work out last year. And so it just shows you that just throwing money at guys to get the best players in doesn't always work because you have to have the right guys developing those guys and the right scheme for those guys to have success in.
Which feels like you do now.
Which feels like you do now.
This seems like, on paper, a very good marriage for LSU between having the money that you want to spend, the coach that wants to spend it in the portal, and he knows what he needs to be successful.
You just got to keep him. You just got to make sure he stays here for long enough to
4 years.
Keep it rolling.
Let's do 4. I would love to see 7.
I'd love to see him retire here.
Yes.
That'd be great.
And he's here a lot. I mean, how many times do you see Brian Kelly tweet from the LSU facility? Never.
Well, Brian doesn't.
Right.
It's also a different personality.
He's also up very early.
As 95% of successful coaches are. Right? Like, as 90, if you're a successful
you got to start the day
football
early.
coach, not just, just football specifically, like,
better be working.
Listen to me. If my players are beating me to the office, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. You didn't want to check the mailbox at 2:00.
Unless I'm out recruiting or I'm out doing something for my team, I should not have players get in the office.
Should probably be at the office.
Yeah.
Not checking your mail before the Florida game.
Yeah.
2:00 in the afternoon on Saturday.
Wait, what?
You didn't hear that?
No.
Brian Kelly? Oh, yeah, he was still at the crib at 2:00 in the afternoon
What?
on game day. Yeah, Jim checking his mail.
Really?
Certain somebody was in the lakes and saw him. Hey, coach. Hey, good luck tonight. What are you doing?
Wow.
I don't really have anything to say.
Wow.
You gonna come today or what?
What a.
Oh, man.
Sorry, I just had to run home and check the mail.
No, I hadn't left yet.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll make sure that check hit. Is it the 15th today, or first or 15th? Which one?
Damn, that's wild. Ask Mikey Mist. Any questions in the chat? Do we have any?
Let's see.
No.
Doesn't
sound like we have any questions.
Let me check Twitter.
I don't think we publicized it.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
But I will not get. He's done other work.
No, he's working. He's working. Let's talk a little bit about we talked a little bit about it on Monday, the playoff. The lines have not moved much. The only thing that's going down is the over/under for the Alabama-Oklahoma game.
40.5.
Now it's down 39.5.
Jesus.
I just saw that on the ticker on ESPN while I'm watching the Staff DNA Cure Bowl. I don't even know what Staff DNA is. What is that? Do you know what Staff DNA is? What company that is?
No. Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying. I thought that was like a new thing.
Oh, it's just-
Like we have
it's a-
Staph DNA. Staph is a bad infection.
Well, that's not spelled the right. It's not spelled the same way that Staff is spelled.
PH.
Yes.
Staph DNA, a software company in Plano, Texas, gives healthcare professionals complete career control for higher paying opportunities and flexibility. Search the highest paying travel nurse and outlet health jobs in the country. No registration required.
There you go.
So we'll
Nice.
sponsor the bowl game.
Nice.
Because if you'd have told me this one existed,
Look,
Old Dominion, South
we
Florida,
didn't know what Staff DNA Cure Bowl is. We looked it up.
there we go.
We looked it up.
I got the cure.
That's it. They got the.
It worked.
It worked.
They got one Google hit at least when you have two backup quarterbacks, but both quarterbacks are probably going to be in the portal, so they're not playing in the bowl game.
Well, and the other quarterback for Old Dominion looked like he got.
He might not.
was
He
dead
doesn't know where
just
he
now.
is. Right. He might need a Staph
Yeah.
DNA cure.
Yeah, yeah, not great. College football playoff this weekend, right? Friday, Saturday. There's two games that have double-digit spreads and two games that have tighter spreads. The Miami A&M game, 3.5 points. A&M is favored by 3.5 points. Alabama is favored by 1.5. Tulane are 17.5 point underdogs to Ole Miss, and JMU 21.5 point underdogs to Oregon. I think Oregon can beat them by 40 points. Now, I'm not no disrespect to JMU, but that's a long way to go. It's going to be cold. I'm not that JMU's not used to playing in the cold, but
I mean, if you just look at who they've played and the points that they've scored and who they've beaten by not very many, JMU was
correct.
It does feel like a
Blow up.
name the number
Correct.
for Ole Miss. I mean for Oregon to
Oregon.
be able to say whatever. Like we could score
and you
40.
like Tulane to cover.
I do. Still do.
You still like Tulane to cover, and you like Oklahoma. See, I like Alabama in that game.
I don't think I like either one of them particularly.
I mean, I think it's very hard to beat.
That's not one I would
team
ever
twice.
gamble on.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I like
just-
Alabama in this one. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie
I mean,
to
you
you.
have. I mean, I would if I had to pick one, I would pick Alabama because
This would
it's
be
Alabama.
this would be 3 times in the last year and a half they would get beat by Oklahoma. I know it's not Nick Saban led Alabama. I feel hard. I feel like that's just not a thing.
No, it's
I
just
feel like it's not gonna happen.
it's hard to beat a team twice in the same season, right? I know Oklahoma gets to play at home. Oklahoma has since John Mateer's got back, they have not been good offensively. Defensively,
Yeah.
obviously very good, which you always knew they were going to be. And watching them play against LSU at home, LSU's on the road at Oklahoma. Oklahoma, that was a big game for Oklahoma. If they lose, they're out, right? So, basically a playoff game for them. And they played horrendous. Basically just said, hey, LSU, if you were competent at all offensively, you were going to win the game. But we weren't, and so we did not win the game. But they had they tried every way to give the game to us, and they did not. I think Alabama's going to go out and beat that and take that game. Now, it may hit the under. I mean, 39.5 is low, but it's going to be two good defenses. I like Alabama in that, and then Miami A&M is the wild card for me. I think I like A&M. I do. But, from everybody that if you're talking to everybody that follows college football, draft guys and college football experts, they talk about Miami potentially being the most talented team playing this weekend. But they are Miami. It is Carson Beck, and he hasn't been great at the end of the year. He also does have playoff experience. So, and they're playing a day game. It's not going to be a night game in A&M, which should be a night game. But
it just makes me feel like the Yell leaders will just roll this thing into the day game. They'll stay out there and just keep going. I'm actually surprised this one isn't given the night game, but I do like A&M in this one. I just feel like in that stadium, in this opportunity, this will be the first playoff game that's ever played there. I think it's a lot for that Miami team to kind of go into in this situation. And I get it. Carson Beck knows all about the SEC. He ain't the only person there that's been in and around the SEC. But it's different when other guys have not, and this is their first time coming into an environment like that. And I think the environment is going to play into this ballgame. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout, but I like A&M being able to pull this one off.
Yeah, I do too.
I think people are making too much of it being a 11 o'clock game. I think you're going to be –
no.
You haven't been in the college football playoff before. You're on this absolute –
well, I just think
skyrocket
for the sake of college football, which was a night game.
Yeah, instead of Oregon JMU.
Yes, correct.
And then they wanted the Friday night game to be a standalone game, so it had to be a better game. But that would have been another game that I thought would have been. I think they know that A&M's going to watch. They're going to show up regardless. You could put it at 5:30.
Oh yeah, because there's only one game on Friday.
Right,
it's a night game, which of course is Alabama.
Or of course, I mean, right.
Yeah.
There's
Which, speaking of
a list,
the Michigan coach has not been named yet.
One's been fired, I think.
Yeah, one's definitely been fired. One's been arrested. DeBoer has come out and said that he is not taking the job.
Interesting.
That is
who do they get
of note. Dillingham. Seems like that's where they're going to go. I think Mentor is probably what you should do.
No, well,
but with all the investigations that's happening in Michigan,
stay away from that place.
What, and not just that, like you were part of the other shit.
Does he not have any kind of suspension on him?
Mentor, I don't know what the show clause.
He had a show clause for I think a year.
Yeah, so he's
so that should be up at this point for him.
But he's getting like NFL consideration.
Yeah. I mean, their defense is good. Like he's good. But he goes back there. If I'm Michigan, I'm trying to go somewhere outside of that.
I'm getting out of
circle.
That arena.
Like, hey, we've had this. We had a head coach came in there, had some issues. Okay, he left. He's having success. We had brought a guy. Keep it all in. Still having issues. He's out. Let me go outside of the family and go bring an outsider into Michigan. And hey, listen, they used to say Les Miles used to try to get that job all the time.
Yeah. He would certainly use it as leverage, and then Kirk Herbstreit was on ESPN.
But I don't know who
next Michigan head coach.
I don't know who gets it.
I don't know where they.
I don't know where they go.
But we do have some Ask Him Them.
There we go.
Questions in the chat.
Thank y'all.
Yeah, always appreciate you, boys. Let's get to it, as we have real NIL young boy. Ask Him Them. 2 months until LSU baseball gang. Who are the SEC teams that you're most concerned about? And what could be our one weakness that prevents us from going back to back?
Wait, say that one more time.
Oh,
sorry.
Perfectly read.
Sorry.
Real NIL young boy. Ask him. 2 months till LSU baseball gang. Who are the SEC teams that you're most concerned about? And what could be our one weakness that prevents us from going back to back?
Okay. Well, we don't play Arkansas this year. But I would put Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas is gonna always be good. Obviously, I'm curious to see what Tennessee looks like without Vitello, and Texas is gonna be good. So I think it's too early to be able to kind of say what is our weakness because I haven't really seen it. You haven't watched them play, and you lose some thump and some experience when you lose Jared Jones, but you're gonna have some guys that are gonna step up, and you have a lot of guys returning, and you're gonna lose your starting rotation. So, obviously there's some question marks there. I think you have the talent. Case Nevin's gonna slot into one. Who's gonna be the other two guys? We're gonna see, but I can't say if anything's a weakness just yet. I gotta go wait till they start playing in the spring for me to go and watch and determine that. Jared?
Yeah, I would say the one team I'm looking at just off of this coach's career success, off of his associate head coach's ability to not only coach, but also recruit and what he's done in the league prior, and because of the engine that's behind it, I'm interested to see what Texas looks like this year.
Oh.
Right? Like, I think that's one that could skyrocket and go to a different level and do things that you haven't seen at that school in a while. Because there's, like I said, there's so much backing there. The head coach has so much past success. in Jim Schlossnagle. You got Nolan Kane, who's the assistant head coach there. And not only did he play in the SEC, but he's also coached in the SEC. He had 2 big schools in the SEC. This isn't his first time in the SEC. He's recruited at a very, very high level everywhere that he's been. I don't expect that to stop when there's more resources. So that's the school that I probably look at. I'm like, I want to see where this thing's going to go. Because if you remember, before they lost their Friday night guy last year, they were a problem, right? And they lost him, and things kind of had to get reshuffled, and that's kind of where they slipped. And they didn't have the hitting that you probably would want on an SEC roster. Do they up those things? And if I'm looking at LSU, I think anytime you lose the guys that you lost in the rotation, that would be my biggest concern. How on earth are you replacing that? You lose a Paul Skeens, you gain a Cade Anderson, and why am I forgetting his name on Saturday night right now? Help me out. Why am I forgetting his name?
Oh, Anthony Ianson.
You get Anthony Ianson as well. Before coming in, if you don't have those 2 guys, they weren't tried and true in the SEC. Looking at it, you're like, well, we don't have Paul Skeens. How the hell are we going to do it? How are we going to figure it out? Because we didn't figure it out last year. The year before, how are we going to do it? So when you lose 2 guys like that in your rotation, how are you replacing that? So that's probably the biggest worry. We've talked about guys that we think could possibly be one, William Schmidt being one of those guys, but to possibly be one and to go out there and do it is 2 different things. That's the 2 things on the team I look at, and the other thing that I look at is in cause of concerns for LSU going forward, not knowing anything about where they are on present day and how they're going to go forward.
I just know that. Well, I don't know, but I just feel like you're going to take a step back defensively in the infield. Daniel Dickinson, Michael.
I disagree.
Okay.
I just a little bit. I mean, I don't think I say disagree. I disagree with the
That's what I'm saying. I don't know,
because
but I do think that they were very good defensively and certainly in the
correct.
infield.
But I do. You have obviously your shortstops back, right?
That's it.
But you brought in some guys who are experienced in the infield, and I think you're going to be fine in the middle. Obviously, the big question is going to be how much improvement has Aaron Beatty made defensively.
Yep.
And then who's going to be in the corners? But I wouldn't say I think that's something that they're gonna have to iron out. I think you're gonna have guys that they'll be able to figure it out.
I mean, I guess it's easy to say I know because what was the
they're
mantra
great
last year was that you have 3 shortstops.
Yeah.
And
right.
Bear Jones was better defensively than probably 99% of the country thought he was.
Yeah.
Pretty good third baseman, too. Just didn't work out.
Right. Right. That was a one and done experiment.
Yeah, I bunted on him.
But you need strikes thrown for those infielders to work.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's definitely question marks. It doesn't mean that there's not answers. We just haven't seen it yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
I trust Jay. Ask him a master nip. What position group do you think needs the least amount of help from the transfer portal? Are there any players you don't want to see transfer to LSU?
I mean, that's impossible to answer right now, right? Because we don't know how many of these guys are going to hop in the portal. Yeah. They're going to play in this game, the bowl game, and that thing's going to be done, which I would imagine is being used as a large portion of an audition for this new staff. And we don't know who's going to be hopping in the portal or who's going to be encouraged to hop into the portal. So that is a really hard question to answer today because we don't know. This roster that you're sitting here looking at is not going to be the roster that is there when the portal is open and you can start signing and grabbing players. That's just the truth of it.
Correct. If I had to say, I agree with you. But let's just say nothing changed. The roster is what it is right now. You have no more guys jump in the portal from here. If I had to pick a position group that needs the least amount of help, I would say it's the secondary. Cornerbacks and safeties. You obviously are going to have one of the 2 safeties you paid last year potentially come back. And then you have Deshaun Spears, who had a really good year. That was supposed to slot into the next spot. You have 2 starting corners already, plus some other young guys you have. So, as it stands today, that would be the one that you would need the least amount of help from. I'd imagine you probably take 1 or 2 guys in those position groups.
And you didn't have any turnover.
Not yet.
No, I'm talking about from the coaching staff.
Correct.
You kept your guys.
And what was the other part of that question? Oh, who do we not want? Dylan Raiola.
Yeah, good. Great answer. Ugh.
If I had to pick one guy, I did not want him here.
Pavia.
Yeah, I'm fine with that one, too. I just saw something recently, and I don't know the exact reason for the stuff before college, but I think he's been at like 6 or 7 different schools since entering high school as well, which that's kind of alarming to me. Like I said, I don't know why he's changed so many high schools. But that also shows me there's not a level of commitment anywhere, and I don't really love that.
Hate that.
And
who's Texas Tech's quarterback?
But going soon
This
to
year?
be?
Right now. Do we know? Let's see. Players.
Oh, he's leaving. Is that what you're asking? He's going to go to Texas Tech and follow. Just keep the blueprint.
His idol.
Up. Yeah.
His idol.
He can't be 15 there.
Yep. So, we'll see.
Was he 5 or 15? Mahomes at Texas Tech.
I think it was 15, huh?
I don't remember. But whatever, he'll be either one if he goes to Tech. But I think they're getting the.
He was 5. You're right. He was 5.
Yeah. But Texas Tech has made quite a bit of headway to be able to get a quarterback.
Yeah, they get whoever they want.
Well, they got the girlfriend committed, as we found out.
Oh, yeah. Sworsby. That's right.
So that might be the way that they go. I don't know where Raiola ends up. It feels like Nebraska was perfectly fine for him.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to be interested. He does have some good practice tape. He works out with Patrick Mahomes, quarterback coach, and he has a little brother that people are probably interested in.
Yeah, we'll see. I just don't want him here.
No. Yeah,
There will be suitors.
Oh.
Did you believe that?
Yeah.
Speaking of quarterbacks, I know this is not Ask Mikey Mitch. Is Tyler Shuck the guy?
He's not bad.
He's good. I think he's better than not bad. He's good.
He's trending towards good.
I mean, he's won 3 games as a rookie in a bad team.
Plays hard.
Plays hard, can run, makes some throws.
He's going to get hurt.
No, he doesn't run like Jackson Dart runs.
Well, nobody does.
Right. So, I think he's fine. But,
Leave in my head.
I mean, look, great draft. That was the first draft that they've had actually some good positive players.
Yeah.
The Saints have.
It's kind of fun.
It just popped up on my Twitter. That's what I was going to say. Okay, go ahead.
I don't mind Shuck.
I like Shuck.
I mean, he got it from the jump. It was just a matter. It was a skill issue.
There's a conversation about this on TV the other day, and everybody talks about how old he is. He's the same age as Aaron Rodgers was, maybe younger than Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers took over the starting job, right? He was the same age as
Rodgers sat for 4 years.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but he wasn't a starter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
He learned.
He didn't start in the NFL until he was the same age as him. I'm not gonna remember the other 3 guys, but there's 3 other quarterbacks that are really good that did not. Oh, talk about Tony Romo. Mm-hmm. He's younger than Tony Romo was when Romo started. So yeah, I like Shuck.
I will say this. If you truly believe someone has very good talent and then they finally play well and obviously got drafted high, I do think that there is a supreme advantage to knowing defenses by way of experience, right? Cover 2 is cover 2. Cover 3 is cover 3. The more you can see these things and break them down and decipher them quicker and process it quicker helps you a lot.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you get to the NFL and they do some more advanced stuff. That's understood. My point to it is the quicker and the better you are at getting through reads, it only helps you. That only truly comes by experience and getting out there and do it. So we're not talking about a guy who spent his college career on the bench, plays 1 year as an older guy and gets drafted. Right. He played a ton of college ball. That's a ton of experience and ability to actually go out there and apply what he's learned in the classroom. That only helps you when you get on the field and at the next level. It just does.
Correct. And look, I mean, he made that touchdown throw he threw to Olave was a dart.
He's got some elite.
Yeah, he's good.
Some elite stuff.
I like him a lot. Seems like he's a leader too. People like him.
Yeah, people like him. And they have a kicker. Yes. And then did you see Groupie nail a 60-yarder?
Of course he did. Yeah.
They still lost.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember ever seeing him nail a 60-yarder in the dome?
Hell no.
All I saw was he missed a field goal a game.
Yeah, and it's from 28.
Yeah.
He was New Orleans broke him.
Yeah.
Ask Mikey and Mitch. John Griffin, Stanford, Connecticut. The biggest realistic issue with Frank leaving is the retention of current star players on the roster. Otherwise, do you think LSU will be fine without Frank?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be fine without Frank. I do. I think it's going to be an adjustment. And, obviously recruiting is his biggest thing. And there's guys on the roster that are probably tied to Frank. But at the end of the day, these guys want to win and make money. And if they believe they have an opportunity to play and make money and win here at LSU, then some of those guys will end up staying. I think they're going to see some guys leave, but you're going to see some guys come in as well. But yeah, I think they can do it without Frank. I like Frank. I wish Frank would stay, was able to stay, but that's not the reality.
Yeah.
So I'll sit here and I'll say this. On Are there guys that are probably tied to Frank? Yeah, I would imagine so. But I think there are also people that understand, they probably understand too, that Frank is my running backs coach. Frank does not run my team. So I could be tied to Frank all day and Frank can tell me this and that. But if that coach that is the head coach and or my position coach doesn't see it the same way, I may not be going with Frank. So we keep talking about the players that he may leave. I'm probably more scared, if you want to call it that, about the running backs they may leave, not so much the other positions.
Correct.
Right? Because where Frank is going, he's not going to be making final decision. And I don't mean that as a knock or anything. I'm just telling it straight up. He's not the head coach to the next spot. Right. So you can sit here and say I'm tied to Frank all day, but if I'm talking with this head coach and this head coach is going to give me said opportunity, or at least that's what's being said, and there's probably a money match and or something that shows there's some kind of commitment here, I don't know that I'm getting that with the next guy. So why on earth would I just be following Frank? Because he's not my position coach, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that people won't leave, but if there's at all that kind of conversation going on at all, I think we can be less scared about guys outside of the running back room leaving because Frank doesn't hold those decisions at the end of the day.
Correct.
I mean, you saw this kind of play out in real time of like what Frank Wilson can do versus what college football is trending toward. He moved heaven and earth for Jakeem Stewart to be able to get advanced a year, to be able to enroll early, to be able to take a year of high school away from him, got him from St. Augustine to Edna Carr, made him eligible for college football when he was a junior, did all of that.
And where'd he go?
USC.
Exactly.
Because they offered him $2 million.
Let me answer this too. Let me put this into perspective too, so people can understand this as well. When Frank is doing all the recruiting, is Frank selling himself? Or is he selling the school and the head coach you have to go and play for? I doubt he's selling himself.
Right.
There is a bit of believe me because I need you to believe what I'm telling you about who you're going to go play for, but you're not truly coming to play just for me because I'm not the head coach, especially guys that are outside the running back room. So when that blows up and that situation's gone, got to understand, guys aren't just going to be like, well, I got to follow Frank wherever he goes because Frank was also the one that sold me on LSU. He was also the one that sold me on I should play for Brian Kelly. I should play for these guys, for the state, for this and for that. So now that you're leaving because there's a better opportunity for you, does that necessarily mean I have to leave?
Right.
Understand that as well.
Right. Correct. Great point about Jakeem Stewart, too. It's just a different landscape.
Yeah, you kind of lost your what you used to be able to do that mattered a ton. It's just $2 million now. Yeah, it's oh, okay, well, shit.
How's Jakeem Stewart been?
He was okay.
Not worth $2 million.
Well, it's 1 year.
I know, I'm just joking.
But I think
But that's my point in paying these high school kids. You're paying him $2 million to go there as a freshman. He should get $2 million after his freshman year. But anyway.
That's not how it works.
I know it's not how it works.
He had, 11 solo tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 interception, and then he got hurt in the last game. Nope, not bad numbers. 18 total tackles. Difference maker. Maybe not yet. But he is a physical freak at 6'5", 290.
He is.
At Real NIL Youngboy, ask Eminem, if you could throw a bag at one guy to transfer to LSU on January 2nd, who would it be? One player. And it doesn't have to be in the portal, but if you could pay one guy to come to LSU, who would it be?
That's a tough
I spoke about him the other day. I'll say it again. And we don't know if it's going to happen or not. Give me Cam Coleman, man. People don't talk about him because Auburn hasn't been really in the conversation. I'm telling you right now, when you turn the tape on and you watch him do some of the shit he can do, he is another living, walking, breathing George Pickens physically. I'm not talking about, I don't know anything about him mentally and all this, but when you watch him, he jumps off the screen, literally. So if I would start there because I think what you have in the receivers room, let's just say that all stayed the same. This guy, with what he comes in and does, he completely opens up everything else you can do. He completely opens up an Aaron Anderson and all these guys that play a smaller game, if
gives
you will.
You a true number one.
His ability is crazy.
Yeah. That's a good one. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to point straight to the quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I trust on who Lane's going to go get in as a quarterback. So if I had to go throw it back at somebody, I would like to throw it at somebody else that could help the quarterback, and Cam Coleman's a great one. He wears a great number, too.
Oh, nice. Oh, shit.
I mean, you never seen it?
No,
he is.
I didn't watch a lot of Auburn, but I've seen him.
Yeah, he is a baller.
I mean, he even looks like him in uniform, dude. He's ridiculous.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
You see him just levitate right there, just like somebody hit the pause button when he was in the air.
Like true number one, like he makes contested catches. He's athletic. Like he makes these
He does look
that's a true number one receiver.
Yeah. And LSU does not have that as of now.
No.
They don't have any. Well, I guess if Nick Anderson comes back, but that's not proven. You have.
He reminds me of like a George Pickens, like when he's healthy and he's right, like a Christian Watson, somebody that is when he's on the field, you're like, man, they don't want to cover that all day. They don't want to cover somebody that can do all that. It's different. It's just a different way of a different type of player.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm good. I mean, easy answers Underwood.
Yeah.
Right. And then
easy. Any of the quarterbacks you could kind of throw in the conversation is the easy answer.
Right.
But like Mikey said, if we're trusting what Lane can do in terms of developing and getting one in, no matter who he is, but then give me the guy I can throw to.
Yeah.
Give me the guy I can just throw that bitch up to.
Yeah.
Correct.
DeCorian Moore would be fun.
I think I'd rather Coleman over DeCorian Moore.
Oh, I mean, that's probably more possible.
Yeah.
Ask him. Taking the life knowledge you have about sports, if you could go back to your childhood, would you pick a different sport you could have been pro in? I think everybody would pick golf.
No.
I think I'd stay where I was at.
Yeah, I mean it worked for both of you.
Yeah, I mean it could. I wish it had worked better.
Yeah.
I'm good. I like my route. I'm gonna stay.
Yeah. Maybe basketball because you got paid a ton.
Yeah, the money in basketball is crazy
early on.
Yeah, but you also got to be 6'5" for it to be realistic. So
yeah, correct.
There got to be a little bit more to wish there too.
If he's saying I could go pro in any other sport,
basketball, yeah, just for the bag.
Yeah,
you sick fuck. I would go and fix games.
Of course you would.
Start throwing first pitches balls, and then walk away. Nobody would know. But darts would be really fun. The crowds you get there.
No, I don't like that.
Why?
Speaking of, not darts.
Oh.
Well, darts is you don't get paid for darts.
You don't know that.
Yes, I do. Speaking of basketball.
It's all about money, Mikey. Sometimes for the love of the sport, the competition aspect, and the crowds.
The crowds.
Yeah.
But
golf. If I get to be a pro and keep my card, absolutely.
I mean, that golf is awesome. You're right. Any other ones?
Oh, yeah. That was from Fonz.
I was going to say, have y'all heard of Pat Spencer for the Golden State Warriors? Jared, you know about Pat Spencer? Dude. Coolest
story. Is that one of the brothers? Is that one of the brothers?
Yeah, but he didn't play basketball in college.
Oh.
He played
lacrosse.
Lacrosse. Or
he was the number one pick. He was the number one pick.
I know a little bit about it. Yeah. Give me the story.
He was the number one pick in the Major League Lacrosse draft. He turns it down because he loves basketball. He was just playing basketball, cooking in the rec. His little brother's in the NBA now too. And so he decides to go and play basketball. And he plays. He ends up going overseas. He ends up signing to the G League. And gets a 2-way contract last year and was good. Played in the NBA for a little bit. And this year, now that Steph's hurt, he is averaging 17 points a game.
That's
in
crazy.
The NBA.
That's a crazy-ass story.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. Hey, talking shit, too, and everything.
It's at a time where lacrosse is kind of on the up and coming.
Yeah.
It's making headway a little bit. Obviously, the draft, some of the games is getting on TV. There's becoming a demand for the sport. He could have easily been one of the forefronts, one of the faces of let me go push this thing along even further. He said, "Nah, I'm gonna go do the obscure thing and see if I can find my way to the league that way." So that's a crazy ass story.
Oh, he can just shoots the eyes out of it.
Yeah.
Cam Spencer from December 16th. Only 2 players in NBA history have averaged 15 points.
I guess he played 1 year in college basketball. He was a graduate. Played basketball at Northwestern. Yeah.
State.
No.
Averaging 15 points per game on 85% true shooting percentage. Him and Kyle Korver. If you're in Kyle Korver,
Yeah.
um,
Isn't it wild?
shooting, you're in a good spot.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Wow.
Ask him and him. J. Mitch, what was it like transitioning from the football team to the baseball team? Did you ever practice on both teams at the same time?
Yeah, spring football. Spring football
Loved
was
it.
the time of doing both. So there was, 2 spring games spring football games, which at the time was still a football game, played in, and then, take the golf cart over with my dog G-String, golf cart, full uni, drive over to the football facility where my baseball uniform was hanging, Batman that thing in the phone booth, and go out to the baseball field. So, that kind of happened a little bit. What was it like? If you're in it and you're doing it, you don't really realize kind of what you're doing until you step away from it. You're like, what the hell was I doing at that point, right? Like there's a lot in that at that point when it's your everyday life and it's what you've known. It's just life. Mm-hmm. It's like it's not anything different. You don't see it as I'm doing something that not many people do. Like you kind of know that, but at the same time you're like, but this is what I've always done. So like it's no different for me, right? And so it is a lot of time commitment. But once again, that's something you're used to giving is your time and your effort and and all of those things too, though. So it's a lot of what you're used to doing. I would say removing myself from it and you look back, it's the time commitment is the biggest part of it. It's the biggest thing where you're like, wow, I didn't have much free time. I spent a lot of my time doing those things. And if I could go back into it, if I'm being completely honest, I would spend more time into it because of the thought process of this is while I'm away from football, people are still getting better at football.
Right.
While I'm away from baseball, people are still getting better at baseball. So if I have aspirations of continuing to climb the ladder, if I'm doing both, to give myself an opportunity, the best opportunity to do that as well, I probably need to spend more time doing what I'm doing because I don't have the time that other people have away from it. So instead of what I would do is when it was football season, it was football season for me. When it was baseball season outside of spring practice, it was baseball season for me. What I should have done is just continue to catch balls weekly. Continue to find 2 or 3 days weekly I can catch balls. Football season, continue to find 2 or 3 days where I can get in the cage and go swing it.
Yeah.
Instead of having to say, hey, all right, bowl practice is coming around. All these boys have left school because school's out right now. All right, let me start getting in the cage now in between. No. Just continue to do it throughout the fall as well. So, that's the things I would have done different, but the time commitment is probably the biggest thing about it.
Crazy. Ask him and him from Fonz. One pro from any sport from history that you'd want to have lunch with.
One pro from a sport in history that I want to have lunch with. There's a bunch.
O.J. Simpson.
Oh, Jesus. That's not what I was going to say.
Oh.
I don't want to give I want to give an old school person that's would be fun to Mickey Mantle.
Whoa, great answer.
Yeah.
I want to know about the blowjob.
I don't know about the whole deal.
Yeah.
I'll say this one just because of I can stay close to where I just was, and I would love to know his experiences, things he went through, and how he views the entire thing.
Deion?
Give me Deion.
Yeah.
I can sit here and say Bo as well, but I think Deion may give you more. I think Deion may be more insightful about how he looks at it, how he goes, and he may think about it differently. I would want to know his view on some of that stuff.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that would be a great conversation.
And people truly forget Deion
Was good.
in the middle of his career. It wasn't just a kind of play. This man was literally flying from football game to World Series game back to football stuff. It was crazy what he was able to do at that time.
Yeah, but he got on a helicopter after a football game and then showed up to game 1 of the World Series and immediately leaves off and then gets a single.
Yep.
That's nuts.
I mean, Deion played
more than you think.
how many years?
Way more than what people think. I think people do forget how much he actually played baseball.
Played
5
9
years?
seasons.
9, see?
Played 9 seasons in the big leagues.
Did he
What
play
do you
any
think-
minor
Is it
league
9
baseball?
full or is it parts of 9? And I'm not saying that like it matters. I'm just asking.
No, parts of 9.
Yeah.
Did he play
The most games he played, obviously that doesn't mean he wasn't on the team for all of them, was in 92, 93, 94, he went 97 games, 95 games, 92 games, then 95 he went 85 games.
Yeah.
That's a
I
lot.
would
That's a
I
lot.
would love to have that conversation with him.
What do you think his career average was?
280.
273.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't give you the bat. They don't give you the uniform for 9 seasons if it was horseshit.
No. No. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
And he can run a little bit.
Yep.
Especially when they're not getting 100% commitment out of you. They ain't giving it to you for that long if it's bad.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, OJ.
Any other ones?
Ask him at him. Last
more?
one. A bunch of times breaking down what needs to improve at the head coaching position. Shifting focus. What should our expectations be for and from Verge? I think he's kind of done his deal.
Yeah, I mean, I think Verge.
He might be good.
Great first impression as an AD. Got the guy that everybody wanted. Got the guy he wanted. So at this point, it's just let's see how that works out. I think you're set in baseball. Basketball, obviously, there may be a decision to make, but basketball team's playing well right now. We'll see what happens at the end of the year. Gymnastics, you're set. Seems like women's basketball, you're set. Pretty set on a lot of big sports.
Baseball seems good.
That's what I said. Baseball's fine. So this was the biggest hire, obviously. We'll see how that works out, but can't get mad on who he brought in. So everybody wanted.
Yeah, the football hire is obviously always going to be the biggest hire. I would imagine going forward from what it is right now, you shoot for the stars and find that big-ass cumulonimbus cloud that if you don't hit a star, you fall on that, and maybe you go forward. Look, Verge has been around LSU for a long time. Verge knows the best things that have happened at LSU. Verge has been a part of the best things that have happened at LSU, and Verge only wants for more of that stuff to happen at LSU. I think the university is in a great hand with him at the helm of this thing, and I expect more and more success to continue to go forward.
Agreed. Appreciate y'all for all the Ask Mikey and Mitch questions. As always, every Wednesday, we appreciate the interaction, without a doubt. And that brings us to the next segment.
Yes, sir.
Mistake of the day.
I do have two.
Oh, I love that.
But these are all fun. I'm not gonna. The Texas Tech one is there if you want it.
No, it's not.
It's not that funny.
Yeah.
But did it happen? But we were talking about darts. Cameron Menzies loses a match at the darts table, darts championship, what have you. These people are competitive. I continue to say it, but we have to look out for our moneymaker here. He's a darts player. What do you throw with?
Your hand.
Your hand.
What did he just do? Why did he do that?
He lost. He was so frustrated with the result. I'm telling you, these people.
So he burned his hand.
He burned his hand and punched the table, and that's his dart throwing hand.
He's a righty.
Yeah, so he's out for the foreseeable future.
Oh wow! So he's on the
he's on the mend.
IL.
So now he can't make any dart money.
Wow, that's tough.
This is a wild move. It doesn't feel great.
He didn't even flinch.
He broke the table. I just thought that was. I saw it.
Wow.
That's what made me think about darts. Whenever you said it, I was like, oh shit.
Wow.
It seems like fun because the place is rocking, but obviously took it a little too seriously. And we have to start being a little bit concerned with maybe where we stand when celebrities are playing golf, because they're not considered. They're not good, and anything can happen. This is Ja Rule at a celebrity golf tournament filmed by CC Sabathia, who is a good golfer. Ja Rule, I'm not sure has picked up the club as many times, but great course, got an opportunity. Let's go play. That should make you nervous immediately.
That's not as bad as I thought.
No, but it feels a little squirrely.
Hey, Ja Rule, where'd you get those calves from?
I gotta ignore y'all right now. I gotta put this thing up.
Watch yourself.
Oh my God.
Not great.
Crazy.
Not great.
Oh my God.
That shit is terrifying.
No, sir.
Not great.
That's wild.
And CC could have been you. Oh shit.
You wouldn't have caught me anywhere but behind this, man. You crazy.
Okay, I take back what I said about the darts. I'm looking at the money.
Oh, okay.
The elite dart players.
Elite.
Luke Humphreys, who's the guy that did that lost?
Cameron Menzies.
So Luke Humphreys and Luke Littler, two Lukes, both make over $1 million. Luke Littler earned $1.2 million, And Luke Humphries earned 1.8. Now, obviously, he's probably the top 2 dart players.
Yeah, they go back and forth.
And then
It can't be like any kind of contracts. They got to just be winning events, right?
Yeah,
right. And then there's other guy, Michael Van Gerwen, earned over $9 million in prize money, but this isn't USD.
Yeah, it's all quid.
What is that?
In British pounds.
So whatever that equates
Yeah,
to.
I mean, and they're like celebrities.
Yeah, they
Like
get
they're
sponsors.
massively famous when they go to the
crazy.
pub, and you get to go play like.
Crazy.
What? It's a great skill to be able to have for what your life
Best
is.
dart competition I've ever seen was in
Darts is fun. Probably the camp.
what's the TV show with the coach?
Oh, Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. Best darts competition I've seen. He hustled the guy. He was
did.
He was throwing darts righty. He says, "Oh, I forgot to tell you, I was left-handed." And beat him.
My daddy said.
What a great one. All right, curtain call.
Curtain call. 2.
I kind of already gave mine, but I'm trying to find another one.
I'll lead it.
All right,
Go ahead.
I'll lead it. Yeah, so here's my curtain call, man. I think we think when you see guys that make it to professional sports that they were always just a part of just like winning, and like everywhere they've gone. Let me just read this off to you. 12-2. That's a winning record. I'm just giving. So what I'm about to give you is a winning records, right? Or records. 12-2, and then you go 3-9, 6-7, 4-8, 7-9, 5-11, 5-11, 5-12, 7-10, 7-10, 5-12. To current day being 10-4. I'm reading you the last 10 years of high school 3-star recruit and high round pick DJ Moore. This is his first winning season that he's had playing ball since his senior year of high school.
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Some people may shy away from a guy like that, but I think someone like that going forward in his career could probably get a job anywhere he wants, because you can't tell me that guy doesn't know what perseverance is. You can't tell me that guy doesn't have grit, and you can't tell me that guy can't teach things to people in your organization, around your organization, and help them learn how to go about their daily lives when everything ain't perfect for them. That's impressive, to be able to stick around, to be able to continue to fight, to be able to continue to have love for something that you ain't won in a decade. That's hard to do.
Yeah, that's crazy. Crazy. You got one?
Yes, curtain call to the ever-changing landscape of media. I don't know if you saw this, but Barstool has signed a deal with Netflix.
Oh, I did not see that.
So
Barstool's making big jumps.
They're
now.
making they've tried their
got
hand at the
Fox?
premium game. What?
They have
They're on
Fox?
cable television now
Yep.
with T-Bob, who came from
Yep.
Baton Rouge to go host that, which is great for him because people do like to elevate.
Right.
Barstool has taken the leap to Netflix, and this is Netflix, I think, looking kind of how the future of media is going, and like how many people really watch premium content that we put out as a television show versus daily content that we can have
Right.
that people put out on YouTube for free. If I'm Barstool, I can get paid to do this again.
Right.
I would
Right.
do that as opposed to subscribers. So, pardon my take, Spittin' Chicklets and Ryan Russillo's show will now be exclusively on Netflix.
Wow.
As opposed to YouTube.
So they're not on YouTube anymore.
Nope, they will be the
So
video
what
version.
happens? What happens with all their other YouTube, like their YouTube channel just
I guess they
disappears?
moved they own all the content, so they could probably make a channel on Netflix where it has all of it. Or they keep it on
Yeah,
there.
Netflix probably, because they had to be making some pretty good money on YouTube.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, you have to sweeten the pot.
Yeah.
Like, they're...
Good for them.
But I thought that was a cool, cool deal. I mean, I have Netflix, so it's not... I would prefer free.
Yeah, right.
But it's cool to see that the way that Netflix is evolving a little bit and trying to get into the sports game. And I think this is, who's to say that Mik'd Up can't be on Netflix one day?
Hey, that'd be great. My curtain call is to, I mentioned him earlier. I talked a lot about him. We talked about dual sport athletes. The crossover that nobody ever anticipated. Major League Lacrosse to NBA basketball, Pat Spencer. What he's doing this year, not playing 1 year of college basketball, averaging double-digit points in that 1 year that he played, and then playing European basketball into the G League, and now being a big-time contributor for the Golden State Warriors. Pretty awesome story. If you haven't watched him, go watch him. He's pretty cool, pretty fun to watch. But it's just a very unique story. You don't ever see guys
dabble in,
especially do that to go to the NBA. Like it's not like you see some people like this guy can run fast or he's enormous. Let me teach him how to play football.
You see like Chris Hogan
or like whatever.
Not just.
But you don't like say, oh, this guy hasn't played basketball all through college, but loves basketball, and now he's gonna be in the NBA. Like that's a pretty cool story. So Curne called up Pat Spencer. All right, that's all we got for you on this beautiful Wednesday night. UL playing next ball game.
Oh, the Peppers.
The Peppers. ULL.
ULL.
ULL, not
ULL.
Louisiana. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Please like, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can't watch us, but you like listening to us or anywhere you get your pods. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back live in studio on Friday. We did not hit our last parlay. I'm not betting. I'm not putting a parlay in this weekend. I have $0 in my account.
Yeah, we tried. We swing for the fences.
We went for it. We appreciate y'all.
Just because we went over doesn't mean you get to take away going 5 for 5 to start last year.
Yeah, you're right.
Water finds its level.
Boy, Ofer is bad.
We were close. We went 2 for 3 a lot. Ofer's tough.
But
it should have been hard. That's a tough way to gamble.
Yeah, and this football season was a very hard one.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
They got smart on us.
Yeah.
It
doesn't matter. All right.
Where was North Texas all fucking year, Mikey? It's all you talked about. You never picked up.
I did one time and they covered. The one time I did, they covered. All right. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. See you on Friday. Peace.
Yeah.
Back on the board.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Everything's happening.
Hey.
Later.